number of young people aged between 15 and 24 will make up 20% of the world's population by 2030. One of our greatest global challenges in the coming years will be to get these 1.3 billion young people into decent work. The good news is that the youth unemployment rate is at its lowest in over 15 years. We know this from our latest ILO Global Employment Trends for Youth report. It came down to 13% in 2023, which is not just a full recovery from the COVID-19 levels, but also puts it below where it was in the pre-pandemic years. And it's expected to continue falling in 2024 and 2025, but the recovery has been uneven. In East Asia, the Arab states, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific, youth unemployment rates have continued to rise. Other concerns are that globally, 20% of young people are currently NEETs. That's not in employment, not in education, and not in training. And if you're a young woman, the challenge to stay in school or get a job is double. 2 in every 3 young NEETs are female. ILO data also shows that getting a decent and secure job is harder than ever for young people. Most young workers still lack social protection, remain in temporary jobs that make it hard for them to get ahead as independent adults. Only 1 in 4 young workers in low-income countries is likely to have a regular, secure job, compared to 3/4 of young workers in high-income countries. The pressures of the job market are taking their toll on the mental health of young people. 2/3 of youth say that they are worried about losing their job. And job insecurity is causing many to live in a state of anxiety. Decent work is a ticket to a better future for young people, and a passport for social justice, inclusion, and peace. The time to create the opportunities for a brighter future is now. Check out the full report, available for download at the ILO website.
Bridge Excellence provides the answers you seek. We are here because of high youth unemployment, especially in the Caribbean. The causes are the same everywhere. Employers want workers with technical and soft skills. Unfortunately, with the youth, there is a huge gap in their soft skills. We at Bridge Excellence want to support the youth and their professional development by providing them solutions in the forms of training, tools, and tips, bridging the soft skills gap to the modern job market.
And our first presenter is the CEO of Bridge Excellence International. Her name is Paulette Lewis. She's an HR advisor and a professional coach. Paulette Lewis, founder of Bridge Excellence International, is a Jamaican leader, right? She's a Jamaican leader with a global outlook and a passion for empowering others. With a bachelor's degree in sociology and languages, a master's in human resources management from UWI-Mona, and a graduate coaching certificate. Paulette is an International Coaching Federation member, right? Her international career spans continents, blending rich humanitarian HR experiences, deeply rooted in her Jamaican heritage. She has contributed to women and youth development initiatives right across the world. Through Bridge Excellence International, she delivers leadership and career coaching, helping young professionals to unlock potential and achieve their goals, embodying mentorship, resilience, and excellence. Please let us make Paulette Lewis welcome as she does her presentations. Please express those sentiments with your emojis so that we can make Miss Paulette Lewis welcome.
Thank you, Erica.
You're most welcome.
I'm really happy to see so many names across the screen. And To get into our presentation, before I actually share a little bit our objectives, I'd just like to challenge you for the next couple of minutes and to say to you that while on the decrease since the 2019, youth unemployment is relatively high. And that is roughly, on my check, the last check, 12.8%. And I must add that overall, the global population is doing much better. But when we disaggregate, when we pull apart the statistics for different countries, we can see that the youth are not doing so well. And so the last check I made, there were 13.8% youth unemployment. Now, if you look at the Jamaican statistics, we can see, and I just want to make very clear to everyone, because I've been challenged on this before, that overall, the older people, they're doing much better. But among the youth, the unemployment figure is pretty high. And the last check was 13.8%. For Trinidad and Tobago, and I think there might be somebody from Trinidad here. When I did check the list, I saw someone registering. I'm not sure if the person logged on. And then for Barbados, it's almost 25%. So I'd like to just ask you to just think about those statistics for a few minutes. And then to say to you as well, that given on the one end, we have this high unemployment situation, we have employers saying, we want the best. And the best we want are people with not only technical skills, but strong soft skills. And on another end, we have the youth saying, we want to be meaningfully employed. And so, having shared those three statements with you this morning, I would like to ask you for a couple of minutes, we won't be long, just to ask you to put in the chat what comes to mind? How do you feel when you listen to these statements? Are you ready to compete in the labor market that's described? High youth and unemployment, so we have a lot of people who are competing. And if you're ready, how ready are you? And if you're not ready, what are you going to do? So the first question that I'd like you to respond to in the chat, how did those statistics, how did those statements make you feel? Anybody in the chat? So you're okay with that, no problem. You're happy with those unemployment figures. They didn't make you feel anyway. And you're ready to compete, are you? If you didn't answer that first question, so could we try the second one? Are you ready, given the situation, are you ready to compete? And all you're asking you to do is to put a yes or a no. I don't know how to read that. Okay, somebody said the figures are concerning. Great. Ready to compete? Somebody says no. Tinta, welcome. Tinta is, I must pause a minute to welcome Tinta. Tinta is my colleague from Ethiopia, and she now resides in the US, and she has joined us. So special welcome, Tinta. She says she's not ready to compete. Taisha says yes. Somebody, Christy says not happy. Yes, but ready to compete. Anybody else? And if you're not ready, somebody said no, Tinta, what are you going to do? Can you put something in the chat? What are you going to do for those people who are not ready? I know there are some people there who don't feel ready, but they're a little shy to put it in the chat. Yes? What are you going to do, those of you who are not feeling ready? Excuse me. Annabelle, welcome. Annabelle is my Jamaican coachee, and I'm happy to see she has joined. What are you going to do? Ah, all right. Tinta says, so Tinta is depending on us to provide her with all the answers today. So then I should ask Joni-Gaye if we are ready to make Tinta ready for this challenge. So thank you, and moving on. So I just very quickly would like to have our admin put up on the screen our presentation. And I'd just like to say to you that today we're trying to see how we can help you as young people to be ready to meet these challenges. And so very quickly, the objectives for today. As you may know, some of you who joined us back in January or who may have heard about the seminar, we started a 2025 journey. And we feel that this 2025 journey is not just for this year, it's a life journey because there are tips and skills that we're picking up. Yes, I know lots of people were not here in January. And so the point is, it's a journey. Yes. And when we travel, when we get on the plane, we find people going the same places as we are, right? And sometimes, we get to talking and we're sharing, our excitement about where we're going, where we've got to on our journey. And so let's treat it like that. You may have missed a few things that we did in January, but basically what we did was we provided tips. We looked at how we could start planning for 2025, and we looked at some skills that would be very useful for us as we plan. And then we looked at it a little bit more broadly, and that was to see how we could use these skills that we use for planning, how we could use it for life how we go about relating to the challenges and opportunities in life. And we looked at some skills set. So, and if you wish to know more about what we did, you can reach out to me, Paulette at bridgeexcellence.com, and I can share with you in greater detail some of what we did. And we're a little bit late, but we're still putting up on social media some of those bits of those information. And so today, I just want to go very quickly into some of what we did in January. And I mentioned earlier when I asked you about the statistics, we did look a little bit at some of the statistics. And we did ask the question, why are we here? And we did look at the youth unemployment situation. And we did look at how we could prepare ourselves for some of these, how we could prepare ourselves with the soft skills that's required. So we go to the next slide. So we looked at some stats, Barbados statistics. We looked at Guyana and so on and so forth. For comparison, I looked at two extra Caribbean locations, which was the USA and Canada, because when we looked at, I just wanted us to have a look to see how we compared in terms of developing countries. It's possible that the US figures have changed in the last couple of days, but these were January. This was a research done in January of this year. Okay, next slide. And so the question was, we looked at then, why youth? And very quickly, we talked about youth. You are the future of your society, of our societies, yes? And the fact that the unemployment situation is high among this group, this cohort, and the fact that employers are looking for people with soft skills. And the research shows that there's a very strong gap in that area because sometimes people don't even recognize what are the skills that they're lacking and that they need for the labor market. And so from a personal perspective, I think there's an urgent need to support young people. And I would like to start with, I've worked most of my working years, I've worked in different countries. But for me, I would like to do something about the Jamaican situation. And I'd also like to see how make it a little bit broader in the Caribbean. And so this is why we're looking once more. We're on this journey. Okay? Right. So we have looked at that. So I want to ask you, what soft skills do you think you need to thrive in the labor market? And if you need, we could just quickly have a definition of a soft skills. What skills do you think as young people, and perhaps we go back to Tinta, who was very brave to say she's not ready. What skills do you think you need, Tinta? Soft skills. And anybody else can answer. If somebody wants to give a definition of what soft skills are, at least we could be on the same wavelength. What are the soft skills you think? What are soft skills? Anyone? Can you give an example of a soft skill? Okay, great. Taisha says time management. Great. Anybody wants to plug at the definition? What? Yes, communication skills, great. We have some bright people here today. Problem solving skills, initiative on tasks and projects, good. Anybody wants to try a definition of what is soft skills? When we talk about the time management and the communication and the problem solving, what are we getting at? Networking, great. What are we getting at there? Okay, I'm an HR expert. Could you consider that a soft skill? Yes, no? Networking, communication. So in my view, soft skills is essentially your ability to work well with others. And these are non-technical skills. They enhance your job employability because you could be great as great a cake, as we say in Jamaica. If you go into an organization and you're not getting along with your colleagues, which require, yes, skill that involves interacting with others. Very good. And if you're not getting along with your colleagues, you can say goodbye to that job because then everybody starts talking about you. Nobody wants to work with you, this kind of thing. So in the interest of time, because we could spend, the 2 hours we have today talking about soft skills and why young people need these skills. I would, however, like to draw your attention to a few, and forgive me, I come from a research background. I actually started I started out as a sociologist. Not very many people know this. So for me, it's very important to see what other groups, and especially people who have a lot of authority in the world of work, what they say about things and how they say it. And so I'd like to draw your attention now to a few, I would consider them power brokers in the market, what they have to say about skills, soft skills. And so we have on the screen, we have the World Economic Forum talking about the must-have skills of tomorrow. And they've talked about analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility and agility, leadership, and social influence. LinkedIn which I think most of you, either you have a profile on LinkedIn or you know somebody who is on LinkedIn and so on, they are actually saying that they have identified a number of soft skills. And if you look at the numbers on the screen beside each one, they have actually ranked these soft skills. They've talked about conflict management, adaptability, innovation, thinking, public speaking, solution-based selling, those of you who are in marketing, customer engagement and support, and they've ranked at number 8, and stakeholder management 9. And again, just like to say that today we're just giving you, just sharing some bits of information. We're not able to exhaust the topic. Certainly, I couldn't in 1 hour, and I'm very cognizant of that. And I'm just saying that if you want to know more about what we're saying here, please feel free to reach out. Some of the work that we do, it's pro bono. Some of it is paid work, but we're not, we would have some difficulty to share some information with you if you wanted it. So someone has put in the screen here, Dr. Morgan, says soft skills are personal attributes, behaviors, and social abilities which enables one to interact effectively and productively with others. Thank you, Dr. Morgan, and thank you for all the others who have put examples in the chat. I can tell you too that these soft skills, from personal experience, they go beyond the workplace. These are skills that you use in interpersonal relationships, whether family members, whether your significant other spouses and so on. And if we don't have these skills, we are not going to have positive and effective relationships across the board. Okay. So we have looked at let's look at the International Labour Organization, what soft skills they think we need in 2025. And so it matches with what some people have put in the chat. They've talked about communication, emotional intelligence, adaptability for employability. And we said that earlier. I can't remember which of the other organization. So there's pretty much a congruence in terms of what these power brokers think that we need to thrive in the labor market. Now, we have a short video that I'd like you to listen to, and I'm going to come back asking you for your participation to let me know how you, thank you, and you can keep putting your whatever information you have in the chat. And while you're listening to the video, if you have any particular reaction, please go ahead and type it in the chat. Thank you.
What are the most essential skills in the workplace of tomorrow? The 2025 Future of Jobs report surveyed over 1,000 company executives to find out which skills they're looking for right now and which ones are set to grow over the next 5 years. Among the top core skills for 2025 are analytical thinking, resilience, and leadership skills. Cybersecurity, talent management, and environmental skills will see large growth in the next 5 years. By 2030, the core skills will look a little different. AI and big data skills will see the biggest rise, joining analytical thinking and resilience and flexibility among the top. Find out how you can be ready with the Future of Jobs report.
Okay, so that was just a short video just to stimulate some thinking. I did actually go through one of the slides before, which outlines the skills that the World Economic Forum, and there are reports, all these agencies that I referred to. You can go online and you can Google, and so much information to share because they're all talking about the world of work and some of them more than others, like the International Labor Organization, for example, they pay special attention to youth and youth employment. And all of these, if you go and you Google, you could find some more information. So again, a short activity, asking for your participation. What was your reaction to this? They talked about must-have skills, and it was a mix of some technical skills and there are soft skills there. But what we're talking about today mostly is soft skills. So what was your reaction to that? If they're saying the must-have skills of tomorrow, and tomorrow is today, actually. Tomorrow is here. Yes, it's 2025. And they have this report that you can go and look at. So, can you let me know what was your initial reaction? Does that make you feel more prepared, less prepared, not interested? What was your reaction? Somebody says AI is critical. You have to be tech savvy. Right, but how does that make you feel? The tech savvy, it's a technical area, right? But what about, well, AI is pretty technical too, but of course it's there, we have had an earlier seminar in 2024 where we looked at how AI is going to affect the use of soft skills, because more and more your technical skills are going to be taken over by AI. And so what are you going to be left with? You have to use and develop your soft skills. So somebody says, RT, I hope you pronounced your name correctly. You said exciting. Anybody else excited about it? Are you afraid? Less prepared. I would have to work on developing these skills. Great. Yes. And so the question would be, how much time are you going to invest in making yourself prepared? Any other comment before we move on? Okay. So we move on to looking for opportunities. So far, I'm continuously updating my skills. Great. That's Dr. Morgan. Very good. Can you tell us about some of the updates that you have been doing? Yes, if you could type in the chat a little. We're not ready for the looking for opportunities slide at the moment. Yes. So, Dr. Morgan, can you tell us something about some of the skills that you have been training that you have been immersing yourself in? Is that something you can share on the screen? RT, in the meantime, says, I do online courses like Allison to upskill. Great. And that's what we would recommend. Are we going to hear about some of the skills you have been updating? Dr. Morgan, anybody else wishes to? Allison, what are the skills, the short courses that you have been doing online? Would you like to
All
type
right,
in the
so
chat? Yeah.
sorry, so I've done a number of what we call continuous professional development courses. I've done courses in enhanced communication, in teamwork and collaboration. I've done courses in problem solving and in critical thinking. One of the most recent ones that I've done is emotional intelligence, as we
Yeah.
see to understand and manage your own personal emotions as you deal with issues like this. So for me, it's a continuous learning exercise. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to keep your video off and just say something so we know you're there and you would like to participate? Yes, RT.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so there are a number of courses like on MindLuster or as I said, Allison. And I have found that they have focused a lot on the soft skills. So you have some conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, some of what Dr. Morgan spoke about just now. They also teach you and to have like a positive mindset. How do you relate to people? How to be assertive? And so some of these courses I find is excellent. It's stuff that we really sometimes take for granted because we all have different personalities.
Right.
And so it really helps you gain insight into how we treat with situations. Since many of us may have dominant personalities, for instance. And so we may think that, you know, we go about communicating with others and not realizing our, you know, presence is somehow overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found these to be very, very, and the beauty about these sites, they are free. My
Yes.
master is free. Allison is free, except if you have to pay for the certificate, of course, but the information is there. And so you can always go up on these sites and, you know, refresh yourself from time to time. And I found it to be very, very helpful. Critical thinking, they have a wide range of courses. So that has been a very good experience for me. And it has worked. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Are you joining us from Trinidad?
Yeah, I'm from Trinidad. I'm a
Okay,
secondary
great.
school teacher. Yeah.
Okay, so a special welcome and
Yes.
thank you
It's
for
a
your
pleasure to be here.
contribution. Yes, thank you for your contribution. So we
Okay.
have on the screen something that we have looked at already, which is the soft skills. I just thought we could just share that with you. But I'm going to ask you now, because today we said we would be looking at opportunities, and I'm sure that's the reason several persons joined, because people, sometimes we're alone and we feel so alone and we feel that we don't know where to look for things, we don't know who to reach out to and so on. So some people have joined to say, okay, let me see what opportunities are there. And so I would like to ask you, are there special questions that you ask selves if you're looking for opportunities? What are some questions you would ask? And you don't have to type in the chat, you don't have to put your video on, you could just say something so we could also move along very quickly. You just use your audio and tell us what are some of the questions that you would ask yourselves if you decide, okay, I don't have the soft skills. We just had RT telling us some things and Dr. Morgan, some courses that they do. So I don't have the soft skills. I could go online and do some courses. But what are some critical questions you could ask yourselves? Anyone?
Ms. Lewis, I would say time, because we talked about flexibility. And so that is one of the things that you would have to consider. Do you have the sufficient time? Can you manage and that proper work-life balance issue?
Very good. Thank you so much. Any other question before we put up the ones that I have on the screen?
I'd ask what are my weaknesses and what are the skills I think would help me become the professional that I want to be.
Very good. Anybody else?
I would want to understand what I'm good at. It sounds very simple,
Great.
but sometimes we don't necessarily, do that audit. So understand what can I do? And
Great.
also
Excellent. Mhm.
what are the areas that I would like to develop? So perhaps I don't necessarily have the skills, but you do have places who are willing to teach or train their employees. So what can I do and what area do I want to develop?
Very good. I could have handed over this presentation to all of you there. Anybody else? Okay, so let's put up what I came up with on the screen. Looking for opportunities. And I just thought some general questions to ask yourself. What are the opportunities to look for? Where can I look? I think that just came out. Where are the skills usually in demand? What you can say about if you're looking for jobs and you look extra jobs, what are side hustles? What jobs don't require a degree? Because a lot of times people are bent on, I have to have a degree, otherwise I can't move on. Yes? And where do young people hang out online where you could make the contact with other people? And forgive me, I'm an oldie, but I did a bit of research and I came up with Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, Vine, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, Facebook and YouTube. And how do you plan for limited resources for training, taking into account your interest? Yes? And those are the general ones. Let us look at the life skills. So you could network. Hopefully I have some time to talk a little bit about coaching and mentoring. Self-awareness. Somebody says, who am I? What can I do? What do I like to do? What are my traits and behaviors and preferences? Did I study to be a medical doctor when I would prefer to go and join a reggae band? What are my networking styles? Interpersonal skills. How do I approach challenges? Do I give up easily? Something doesn't work for me. I say, okay, it didn't work. I'm finished. I'm gone. Or I'm going to make another effort at it and see, how I can come at it from another angle. What are my characteristics, such as communication style, emotional intelligence, problem solving? What are my motivations, values, and how do they fit within a specific work environment? And so those are some of the if you're looking for opportunities, I think if you're looking to develop your skills, we go to the financial part of things. If you need, okay, you have some plans, you're going to look at, oh, perhaps I need to find a job. Yes. If you're just starting out, you've done a university degree or you've done a college training, whatever, should you look for internships and training funds and scholarships and grants? Now, I also did a bit of research on that, and I don't think we'll have the time today to go through that list. But for those of you who are interested, you can also reach out to me. Somebody's asking if we get a certificate at the end. Does it mean for this session? Or I'm not sure what your question has to do with whether we issue a certificate for it. We can, if we're sure you attend from the beginning to the end and you need it for your job, we could say, okay, yes, you attended our session for 2 hours. But in terms of a certificate for something, and it's an idea, maybe it's a business idea, I don't know, perhaps this is something that we could also be doing. But I was saying that for training funds, scholarship, grants, there's a whole list, I think 2 pages that I have gone into. And I'd like you to make note of this particular website. It's called Opportunities for Youth. I'm intrigued by it in terms of the scholarships, the funds, the internship that it offers, and it offers to people across the globe. Okay, so we have looked at where you could look for opportunities. And as I said, you can reach out. I'll send you the list. It's 2 pages of places you could look for opportunities. Opportunities for scholarships for trades, vocational schools, easy ways to find non-academic scholarship, a guide to finding and winning scholarships, and places like the Organization of American States. We have a lot, my own experience in the United Nations. I know there are lots of UN agencies And we have the UN University in Japan that offers a host of training and scholarships to people. You just need to sit and look and see. So I'm planning, where do I want to go? How am I going to get there? Do I need money? Where can I look for training funds and so on? And in your networking, you could find people who have benefited from scholarships and grants. And you ask them, what did you do? How did you do it? And sometimes it's not as formidable as it may appear when you're there thinking, where do I want to go? So very quickly, I would like us to move on. I should ask, is there any questions so far? Okay, so we're still looking at the opportunities. And so for employment, and some of it is including training, I'd like to promote. We have Miss Joni-Gaye Cawley, who is going to do the second half of the presentation today. She is an HR consultant and trainer, and she manages JCHR Consultants. See, Johnny, she just put her picture up. You can see her, and she's going to be doing some training later. And she offers whatever she's going to do with us today, she offers those opportunities. She can tell you more how you can brand yourself and so on. Perhaps she could even tell you where you could look for other opportunities. I have here HGS Jamaica. You could use universities. One of my coaching clients, we talked about going to the university, the department that you actually studied, because sometimes they have people calling in, I need somebody for this job, that job. So you could also connect with the university. And the other list I mentioned earlier, online job boards and platforms like Jubal, freelancer.com, and so on. Those are some of the places that you could go to look for jobs. I should like to mention that for coaching, and I will go a little bit now into the coaching and mentoring, and I know I will not have enough time to go in depth, but I just like to let you know that coaching, it's not a very well-known area in our part of the world. Yes. And lots of times people connect coaching with, oh, they think I'm crazy, I'm going to the psychiatrist or the psychologist. No, coaching is being aware that you need to move forward, and it's not necessarily that anything is wrong with you. It could be that you want to do something better. You're good at what you do, and you want to get to the top of the ladder, so the area in which you operate, and you find that you're not doing some things that you need to do, and you go to your coach, you say, this is what I need, and your coach works out a program with you. So very quickly, I just like to share that Bridge Excellence International, we do assessments, and assessment is a measure of personality, your skill level, your behavior, how you operate in groups, and your leadership ability. It's all of that. And we assess. There are different assessment tools. And for the purposes of this seminar, Bridge Excellence, we promote the Bertman method. It's not the only tool we can use, but it has a number of factors. It measures the other tools. They may measure 2 or 3 factors or 2, 1. The Bertman, it measures a number of factors. It can be used if you are moving from, you're finishing high school, or you're finishing college, university, and you want to know, am I in the right area? Is this what really interests me, or did I do it because my mother pushed me to go and do medicine or engineering or whatever? The assessment tool will measure that. In terms of coaching, it helps to help you to see how you show up, who you are, and how you're behaving, how you're relating to other people. And it helps you to develop a model for performance. And we talked about the coaching that we use at Bridge Excellence International is what you call evidence-based coaching. Could we go to the next slide? So here for the next two slides, and you can see the Berkman, we have a number of factors that it measures. It measures behavior, it measures career. Are you in the right career? Conflict, how are you managing? How are you? What's your behavior like when you're stressed? Do you manage stress well to the extent that you don't get everybody disliking you? Leadership, how do you show up as a leader? It manages personality. It looks at strengths. What are your strengths? And for team development. So we could take several persons report, you're in a team, and we can say, look, in your office, we can go to the next slide. In your office, you are working together, but people don't understand your style even as a leader. We can sit with you as a team and we help you to look at what you're doing, what are your strengths, who could possibly be, you have projects. Who could be your leader for that project? It doesn't have to be the head of the unit because depending on the project, you might need certain skills, somebody who can take the thing and run very quickly with it, while your leader has to take it and, look at it 100 times. But your project requires quick action. So we can look at all of those things with you. If you can see here on this slide, the Myers-Briggs, it measures only personality. Next slide. Right. So for the evidence-based coaching that we do, for the benefit of everybody who is on, because I think we have only maybe two persons who may have seen this before in our presentation. So the evidence-based coaching that we practice in Bridge Excellence is it's supported on four main pillars. We look at the theories, we look at the core coaching skills, the client, and the coach's use of self. And basically, the concept is that everything that we do focuses on the client. What do you want to do on the long term for the next month, the next 3 months? What's the challenge? What is it you want to do better at? And you sign an agreement with your coach. And then in each session, you're going to decide, what am I talking about? What do I want to deal with today? And the question that's going to be posed to you is, why do you want to do that today? And it pulls up, what is it you intend to benefit from at the end of the session? What do you intend to do, having raised the issue or having raised that plan for where you want to go? What's the accountability? Who is going to be your accountability partner? Is it your husband? Is it your wife? Is it your girlfriend who sits next to you at the office? And so on. And we talk about theories. So a coach has to be professionally trained. And because the coach has to recognize what is it you're working at and what are the various theories to pull to support what you want to do. So very quickly, that is our evidence-based coaching practice. Now, I'd just like to move to the next slide, which is it tells a little bit about the Berkman itself, the Berkman method, which I have talked about. Can I ask anybody, could you type in the chat or just quickly open your audio and tell us, have you worked with personality assessments before? Has anybody asked you to complete a tool that tells you how you show up, your behaviors, what your interests, and so on are? No? Anybody heard of the Berkman method before? So somebody said yes. Christy, tell us, which tool did you work with?
Oh, sorry, I was unmuted. I don't remember the name of it. I remember my results.
Yes.
My personality was an architect.
Okay.
But that was the only tool I remember using.
Okay. So, are you an architect?
Based on the summary, yes, it was pretty accurate.
Right. Okay. And based on what the attributes that were shown to you on the report, did they resonate with you, or did you find it strange, unusual? How did you respond to that?
I thought they were very insightful. It gave me more insight into what I liked and what my weaknesses were, and um accepting those. And it also showed me different paths and careers and activities that lined up with my personality, which was very
Okay.
helpful.
Right. And so were you able to use those reports to move into what you really think you should be doing and how you should be behaving and so on?
Yes, it's forced me to do a bit more personal development and reading. So while I haven't gone exactly into where I want to be, it has pushed me into that direction.
Okay, good. Right. So I just have a short video. The people who are keeping time, I'm not sure. I'm not getting any feedback from. Can you tell me how my time is? I'm almost done, but we have this video that I'd like to show you about it's the Berkman method of assessment. And as I said before, if you want to know more about what we are doing today, because of the short window that we have with you, you're free to reach out to myself or to Joni-Gaye in her practice. So let's listen to the Berkman method assessment.
People. They come in all shapes, sizes, and personalities.
Are you hearing? It's from my end, it's a little low. I don't know.
Our interactions with a diverse mix of individuals that are so different from us that they might as
Could
well.
you put the sound up a bit, please?
Wish there was some way to crack the code to personality and better understand the way people act? What if one assessment could help you understand the personal strengths and needs of people, including yourself, and give you the insights you need to live up to your highest potential? Welcome to the Berkman Method, the only personality assessment that goes beyond the behavior we can see to reveal the critical DNA that drives productivity and satisfaction. Used by millions of people worldwide, the Berkman Method combines the most reliable and scientifically valid behavioral and occupational information into one assessment. Your interests and behaviors are what motivate you. Better understanding yourself and how you relate to others will not only improve you as a person, but also help you advance your professional career, making you a stronger leader, a better team builder, and increasing your sales. Berkman. Better leaders, better teams, better careers. One assessment.
Okay. For me, the sound was a little bit low. I hope you heard. And so the next slide we have here, it's just showing you some of the reports that you could get from the Berkman. On the left, which is my left, you have what is called a signature summary, which basically tells you how you show up in terms of decided whether I should go into components. But the components really describe your behaviors that you exhibit and the behaviors you expect or need from the people around you. And you see there are some scores here. They go usually up to 99, and depending on what scores you get, you're either And it's not a right or wrong, it's not good or bad, it's just how you are as an individual. And these scores will tell you how you're likely to relate. So for example, and I always give this example of myself, where you have the map is basically an aerial view of how you show up. So, and the Berkman has to do with colors, yes? Colors and symbols. So if you're a red, and I'm a red in terms of my general behavior, so I tend to want to get things done very quickly. And so sometimes I end up pushing my staff or people with whom I'm working a bit because I do things quickly. And some experts will tell that's not necessarily the best way to be. It's good to be like that sometimes, but there are other times not, because you probably are in a situation where you need to think, spend more time thinking about something. But because of how I am generally, I might make a response and then I may have to go back and look at it again, or I recognize that there were some things that I didn't look at carefully enough. So basically, and so it also shows the bottom left, your interests. What are your interests? And, you know, are you interested more in numbers? Are you artistic? What do you like to do? What do you like to read? And so basically, what are some things that you could do if you're stressed? What are some interventions you could use on your own? So for example, if it tells you that your interest is that you like music, the guide would be, if you're stressed, go sit at your computer, put in your earphone and listen to some music, because that might help you to better manage the situation that you're in. So these are just aerial views of reports that you could get from the Berkman, just to give you a sense of some of the things that you can get out of it. Okay. I think we have just one last slide, which explains a little bit the Berkman map, which is really the biggest part of when you get a report, which is a bit critical because it tells you what's your color. It tells you, you know, the symbols mean certain, you know, we have different meanings for the symbols and so on. And it's usually expressed with your stress behavior. So it's always a circle in a box. And what you have here is someone who behaves a particular way. Person is likely to withdraw because already somebody who has a yellow coding, it's someone who likes to work alone and to do things on his or her own. So this person is likely to withdraw when stressed. However, the person has interest, the asterisk, in the green area. And the green, if you're a green, if you come out with a green coding, it means that you're more exuberant, you like to interact with people and so on. And so your interest would be to do things that relate to doing things with people. And here you have the diamond, the usual behavior. So you're likely to be more exuberant, somebody who likes to relate to people and so on, just to give you a very quick overview. So that's basically what I have to say to you today. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're more aware of opportunities that you could actually utilize for professional development, whether you need to go and find a coach, whether you need to go and search for a grant or scholarship to go to the next level of whatever you do, whether you actually need to go and look a job, you know, to get up and go and stop telling yourself, you know, I'm tired of applying. Life is not easy and you just have to make it work. Against the backdrop that unemployment is high, so you are competing. And the bosses are not looking only for your technical skills, so you could have 10 degrees. They want to see. And when you come and sit at that table, as Joni-Gaye will show you, then, and when you fix your CVs, whatever before, then you're going to show what are the skills. And when you sit at the interview table, what are the soft skills you have, because they're going to ask you questions to do that. I hope I've been helpful, ladies and gentlemen, and it was my pleasure to share with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And that was Miss Paulette Lewis's presentation. And it was very informative, very enlightening. And I hope that you would have garnered enough information that you are able to apply it on your journey. At this time, I'm going to ask if there are any questions. If there are no questions, I will go straight ahead into introducing our next presenter. All right, so no questions. It was crystal clear, Miss Lewis. All right, so at this time, you're most welcome. At this time, I'm going to be introducing our next presenter. And our next presenter is Joni-Gaye Cawley. She is an HR consultant, trainer, speaker, and author. Joni-Gaye Cawley is an experienced HR practitioner with over 17 years in human resources. She holds international HR designations, including SPHR, HRCI, and SHRM-SCP, and earned an MBA from the University of Wales. Her academic background also includes a BBA in HR Management and Marketing from the University of Technology, Jamaica. A PMP certified professional, she holds a data protection certificate and is currently pursuing an MPhil PhD in education at the University of the West Indies, Mona. Her expertise spans corporate HR leadership and consulting, specializing in recruitment, performance management, and customized training. She's actively involved in training, moderating, and speaking at local and regional conferences. Ms. Cawley serves as a Justice of the Peace and holds board memberships at the Jamaica Chambers of Commerce, JCC, HYC Medical, and Woman Inc. She is also the author of The Influential HR, earning respect and gaining a seat at the decision-making table. Let's make our next presenter, Joni-Gaye Cawley, welcome. Put your emojis up so that she can know that she is welcomed.
Thank you so much, Erica, and thank you for the clap, Carrie. Hey, and I see Tinta clapping as well. I can't see the others, but thank you so much for the welcome. I am happy to be here with you, sharing, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm sharing what I'm passionate about. This is what I do. Share with you my tips and tricks and what I look for in candidates, what companies ask me to look for, and you will ace your interviews and your resume and cover letter as of today. Also personal branding. All right, so who is ready? Who is ready to hear all of that now? Let's have a thumbs up, or let's see. Who is ready? Anybody ready? Anybody ready to hear all of that? All right, not yet. Okay, all right. So we have some people who are ready. That's excellent. All right. Job seeker success blueprint. A blueprint is something that you follow. If you're an architect, you follow it and you build the building to precision, right? This is your blueprint I'm giving to you now. Mastering applications and interviews. Further on, we're going to do the personal branding section. At the end of this session, you should be able to create your resume that stands out and impresses recruiters like me. You should be able to go into any interview with confidence. know how to research and target the jobs you want and apply for those jobs and practice approaches that work in today's market. Earlier, I heard about TikTok, and I advertise jobs on TikTok for clients. I also advertise on Caribbean jobs on LinkedIn and on my website, that's Joni-Gaye-Cawley.com. You can go there, click on careers, and you'll see the list of careers. There are 12 jobs that I'm actively recruiting for today. So if any one of you here want to apply for any of the jobs, please direct message me and let me know which one you're seeing that you want to apply for. Apply and I'll look out for your resume. So that's what I'm offering to you today. When you look on job advertisements, wherever you see them, you're going to see the title of the job, the responsibilities, required qualifications, and a little snippet that will tell you what kind of culture it is. You'll see that the place is a dynamic environment. What does that mean? That word always comes up. You'll see that you might be required to work long hours. You say, you might be able to work, you might be required to work on shifts, on weekends, or fast-paced environment. It tells you something about the organization. I'm giving you this advice. If the job requires a bachelor's degree and you don't have a bachelor's, but you don't have it as yet, but you are almost complete, do not let that deter you. Still apply for the job, because chances are we'll have applications for people who haven't even started their degree program as yet. So you will be the best of, I'm not saying the worst, but you'll be the best of the lot. All right? If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat while I'm speaking. I will break for questions and read your questions and answer, and then you can unmute and speak, okay? All right, so this is a job ad now. When you want to seek a job, you look on LinkedIn, you look on Caribbean jobs, on the career pages of companies, and you're going to look for the title, responsibilities, qualifications. If you don't fully meet the qualifications, still apply, and the company culture signals. We heard about the soft skills earlier. That is going to be listed on the job ad as well. Communication, excellent communication skills. The other soft skills are going to be there. One way that I one thing that I use to, we'll say, weed out people who you don't want, is use terms like FMCG, right? So we want somebody who is familiar with the FMCG industry. If someone calls me and says, I saw an ad and they want somebody who has experience in FMCG, what is that? Then that says to me, the person might not be the right fit, because FMCG is something that you should know if you're in that industry. Drop it in the chat for me and tell me what FMCG stands for, please. Anybody? Let's see. Let's see what FMCG stands for. See if I have anybody that I can. Yes, Kerry K, fast moving consumer goods. So imagine somebody saying, what is FMCG? You say, okay, no, not you. All right, so this is what the page on Caribbean jobs looks like right now. And while Paulette was talking, I went on Caribbean jobs. I went on the page and I took these screenshots. So it is fresh as a few minutes ago. All right, to get here, this is my page, and there are other jobs, right now on it. You can go to my website, Joni-Gaye-Cawley.com, click on careers, and it will take you here. This is the list of positions. A few of them were posted by my business associate. I'm not handling that particular client, but many of them, that's me. I'm recruiting for sales manager right now, etc. So just go on it and look at the others that are there. This is not the full list, and that's where you start. While you're doing that, let's have a discussion on the resume now, because I don't really look at the cover letters. If you put a cover letter there, I don't have time to read it, because I spent like 3 seconds or less looking at a resume. And in the 3 seconds, I know whether I need this person. I used to spend 10 seconds on a resume, but because I've been doing it for so many years, it's down to 3 seconds. So you have 3 seconds to impress me with your resume to get one of those jobs or to get even shortlisted for a job. A resume, the resume has been around for a long time, from 1481, roughly. Leonardo da Vinci is the one who wrote the first resume. So you know how long that is? Now it's 2025. 1481 is a long time. Well, what it does is the same thing that it did from that time till now. It summarizes your education, your skills, work experience, and anything that's relevant for the particular job you're applying for. Your resume is the one thing that recruiters will see and know whether or not they want to proceed with you. That's your advertisement. One piece of paper, 1 page or 2 pages, your advertisement, your foot in through the door. So it has to be perfect. How do you craft your winning resume now? You talk about your achievements. In the section that has your job responsibilities, don't retype your job description, what you did in the job. What did you achieve? What did you accomplish? I'll give you examples later on. Tailor the resume for the specific role you're applying for. If you have customer service experience and you also have HR assistant experience, but you're applying for a customer service job, then in your profile, you say over 10 years experience in customer service, so and so and so. HR is important, yes, in your life, but right now, what you're going to focus on, what you're going to put out there is that you are this customer service person that we need. Relevant work history has to be there. And capabilities also your professional header and overview. Let me dive deeper into that. Where do you get resume templates? You can use Canva. You can use Microsoft Word. You just open like you're opening a new document and you look for templates, resumes, and cover letters, and you will see a screen with layouts like this. Many more are there, but Word, Canva, those have the templates that you need. One word of wisdom regarding the picture: professional resumes don't have your photo on them. The photo will serve as a way of eliminating you before the recruiter even meets you, because some people's photo is not professionally done. They have red hair and strange eye colors, eyelashes out there, and bleaching, right? It's once the recruiter sees it, they say, no, not this one. Okay, so please stay away from the photo. There's a space for the photo, but you don't have to put anything in that space if you decide to use this layout. All right, good. Your resume. If you have your resume with you, and I ask that you take your resume to this session, I hope you have it with you. Just look at it for me and we're going to go through step by step. Your name should be at the top or at the side, depending on the layout that you choose, but your name should be prominent. Please spell your name correctly, because I had a resume and the person had an extra letter in the last name that wasn't supposed to be there, right? The person really spelled their name incorrectly. Please spell your name correctly. Your residential address, it does not have to be your exact lot number 1531 so and so street. If you don't want somebody to come to your gate or your house to find you, then you can just say the general area. I have no issues with having my address there, but the general area, Kingston or Montego Bay, Jamaica. This is important because I recruit for companies that are all over. I'm recruiting for a company in Mandeville, or more than one company in Mandeville. If I see that you have a Manchester address, then fine, I'm going to shortlist you quickly. Your telephone number, please put the area code because Jamaica has another area code now, right? Something like 658 and there's the 876, the original 876. Put that and your number. It's important that your phone number is on your resume because I have seen resumes without phone number and the resume is good and I want this person and I can't contact them by phone. Fortunately, the email address was there and I decided to take the time to email, but please, phone number is important. Your email address should be a professional email address, not some of those unprofessional ones that I'm seeing, right? Description of body parts at so and so. If your first name dot your last name is fine, or your first name and your last name at Gmail. I say Gmail because if you use Yahoo or Hotmail, it will put you in a certain age bracket. I do have Yahoo and Hotmail too because I'm from that era, but it will just immediately say to recruiters, okay, this person might be over 40 or, right? Your professional profile, I'll tell you what that is soon. Look and make sure that you have something that's saying professional profile or professional summary. Don't use an objective because the objective is usually vague, like to attain the highest level in my field. What does that say? It doesn't say much. It doesn't say who you are, what your experience has been. Your work experience should be there. Start with the most recent first. And then you go back to the job that you had before. Don't go back further with details more than 15 years. That's a long time. If you have jobs that you've done 20 years ago or so, you can list the position, the place you worked, probably the year, but don't go in details with your job duties and so unless it is relevant to this position. If this position needs a technician, an electrical engineer or something, and you did that job but years ago, then you can use it. You can say what you accomplished as a technician however many years ago. But if not, just say early work experience or early career experience or something like that, and you list the job title, where you worked, and the year if necessary. Sometimes when you list the year, it's so long ago, like 1992, that recruiters will say, okay, 1992 minus 2025, okay, that means the person is such and so, could be more than so and so years old. All right, I'm telling you all of the tips and the tricks, the things that we look for. If you have awards, clubs and societies that you belong to, the Rotary Club, Kiwanis Club, you are president or immediate past president, or you can list it on your resume. And references available upon request. We used to say list 3 references or so, but now with the Data Protection Act, it's not advisable for you to be listing people's names and where they work, a job title, email address, a phone number, because you could have very influential people as your references and whoever is looking at the resume wants to get in touch with that person for other reasons and might just use the information. All right, let me pause here for a second and see if we have any questions in the chat before I go on. All right. Okay, no questions in the chat. All right. This is what my resume looked like a few days ago. I'm always changing something on it. Carrie Ann, go ahead. Welcome, Carrie Ann. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, Collie, how are you? Hi, everybody. On the last note that you mentioned about your reference, I want to know if the name is okay, just the name is okay to be on the resume?
Why put the name and not go any further? No,
Yeah.
because if I want your references, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to send you an email to say, we are considering you for the position of so-and-so. The recruitment process includes reference checks. Please provide me with the names, email addresses, positions, phone numbers of 3 references who are able to tell me about your work ethic. And then you can tell me everything you want to tell me, right?
So references available upon request is okay to be on the resume.
Leave that, yes. Leave it there, yes. Let it stay as that. Put it
All
on your
right.
resume.
Much.
I'm saying so because of my data protection background as well.
Thank you.
All right. So the heading of my resume is this. I've changed it so many times, and now it has strategic HR consultant, trainer and author. All right. Kingston, Jamaica is there. Your LinkedIn, the link to your LinkedIn page can be there as well, because if it's clickable, the recruiter can just click on it and go straight to your LinkedIn profile. And I'll tell you a little bit later about how to refresh your profile to make sure that it is what you want to be out there. It's your brand that's important when it comes on to whatever you put on social media. Professional profile is something similar to what Erica read when she was introducing me, but a shortened version. Accomplished HR consultant and trainer with over 17 years of progressive experience. And it says what I'm experienced in and who I've worked for and my soft skills. All right, that's the professional profile, not the objective, like to become a so-and-so professional profile. Tips for writing a great resume. Your summary statement, your professional profile should be strong. It should say what your qualifications are, just in one sentence. It's your elevator pitch. Let me go back to it, and I'm going to go to the chat in a second. When you're asked, tell me about yourself in the job interview, this is what you're going to tell them. The 30 seconds or less elevator pitch, your professional profile. I'm an accomplished HR consultant and trainer with over 17 years experience, and so and so and so, works with so I have strong leadership. Whatever it says on your profile, that's what you tweak to 30 seconds, and it's your elevator pitch, and it is there. Tell me about yourself. If the recruiter or the interviewer at this point now says, tell me something that's not on your resume, then you can say, I play professional football, I play in the Premier League with whatever football club or something that is going to draw the attention of the recruiter to you and say, but wait, we participate in business house football too, and our team is at the bottom of the table, so we need you. That type of thing, right? So it's if you're asked to tell them something that's not on your resume, but develop your elevator pitch, and we'll speak about that some more later. In the chat now, someone is asking, let me see if I can get back to the chat. For the education section, for a first year college student, should CSEC subjects be listed? I saw a resume yesterday of, yes, a college student with the CSEC subjects listed, and I was like, wow, I need you to come and he was the summer job, but his subjects were like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. He only got like 1, 2. But yes, I would say list your subjects and the grade. First year college student, make sure that you put the college that you're in now and say like 2024 to present. Before that, put your high school and list your subjects and the grades. Yes, because I was so impressed. All right, keep those questions coming in the chat, please. Write your resume with your target job in mind. Make sure that you read the advertisement, and whatever words are used in the advertisement, that they need someone who can do so and so, who is familiar with QuickBooks. If you are familiar with QuickBooks, make sure that you put that on your resume to say technology used or software or systems, QuickBooks. Okay? Just whatever words are in the job, and pick them out. And if you have that experience, then you put it on your resume. If not, don't tell any lies, because we'll find out those reference checks. We will call those references and find out if you are not telling the truth. Erica, you want to say something? That's okay. Go ahead. All right. Highlight your strengths, your achievements, your targets that you met. Also, if you're in a job right now, list the position when you started and say to present. If you started December 2024 to present. If you just started like 1 month ago and you're still looking for a job, then the question would be, why do you want to leave your current job? Please prepare an answer and do not badmouth your former employer or wherever you're working now. Keep your resume short enough. If you just finished high school or university, your resume doesn't need to be 4, 5, 6 pages. 1 page is fine, 2 pages quite fine. For senior roles though, I do not expect to see 1 page. If it's a production manager, I expect to see 2, 3, 4 pages. I do not want to see 9 pages. I'm not going to read 9 pages. Unless it is for the president of a university, then I expect to see 14 pages if they put the publications there. Use the correct font size. There is one person who keeps applying and the font size is so small, but because I'm used to his resume from the font size was bigger, because I know it, I just overlook it, but I think I need to call him and say, don't blind me, right? So use the font size 12 or Calibri 11, big enough. And the curvy writing, the curvy, too pretty font, stay away from it. It's not easy to read. You see this? This is not easy to read. Please don't use them. Don't lie on your resume. We're going to say it again, because we will find out, and your chances of getting hired after telling 1 lie, your chances is 0, none. Also, if you were just an ordinary worker in the department, don't say that you were the supervisor. If you were the supervisor, don't say you were the manager. I'll find out. Okay? Use action words such as organized, created, analyzed, directed when you are explaining what you did or what you achieved. This is my example from mine. Let's say the third one. Implemented employee engagement programs such as health and wellness, corporate social responsibility, etc. What did it result in? You could just stop and say that you implemented so and so, you know. That's fine, yes. But to what end? It resulted in a 20% increase in employee engagement. And this is big, because if your employee engagement score before I did these things was 40%, and now it's 60%, it's a jump, right? It's worth saying something about. And this is from my resume when I was the HR and training manager for DHL. I'm going to the chat again, so if you don't put your question in there yet, drop it in now. I'm coming from a BPO background as an agent. However, I have the opportunity, or business administration level 5, yeah? Okay. What approach do I take to get an intern position? I don't know of any internships for HR, really. What you can do is apply for any position that's called HR assistant, HR administrator, HR administrative assistant, any position like that. That's how you enter the HR field. So you enter by applying for the entry. My first job in HR, I had my degree, but I was working as telephone operator receptionist. I applied for the HR administrator job, HR admin. That's how I got in. Is it possible for us to have access to the PowerPoint after this session? Well, it has my personal information in there. I don't really have any issue, but we'll discuss it. Bridge Excellence and I will discuss it, and we'll see what the approach is for the for the information dissemination. The work experience and the education section should start with the latest term in terms of the year. Yes, so work experience, what you're doing right now, the job you're in right now, and then after that, the one that you had before, and then after that, the one that you had before. So you start with the current first. I've seen resumes that start with the first one way up, and it's a position that we're not interested in. But when I scroll down, I see that the person is in a position now, which is similar to the one I'm recruiting for. Suppose I didn't patiently scroll down, then I wouldn't see that. All right, so please, your most recent first. All right, she said, thank you. Keep those questions coming. Keep those questions coming. In the absence of metrics, numbers, statistics for results, achievements, what can you do? Almost everything can be measured, you know. If it's even an office attendant, empty the garbage 3 times daily to ensure a clean environment, a clean working environment. Tell me something that you want to turn into a measurable activity.
Okay, thank you for reading that one. The challenge I'm having is in previous roles or positions, I wasn't necessarily taking great note of specific achievements or specific results.
Okay.
And so when I'm trying to highlight my achievements, it's difficult for me at this point to remember all of the specifics.
Yes.
So while I know I need to start doing it now, to at least make a note as I'm, accomplishing different results.
Right.
It's difficult for me to go back now.
Yes, so this that you're learning now, going forward, you can use it. But before, whatever you did before, you can just write the duties. You can write the duties, whatever you did, whatever duties you had, right. Yeah, just write the duties. That's fine. That's fine. But now, as of today, we're all learning together. We're going to do things differently, and that's why you're all on this webinar, right?
Yes.
So we'll do things differently as of today.
Thank you.
Yes, Kariki, you can go ahead and write that. Jade, if you're a parish manager, director level 3, 20 years ago, you have since held a job as a lecturer, okay, what level finance should you now apply for? And you are now 55, okay. So there's another thing now coming in, that the age discrimination is there, because once you're 40 and over, we're at 55, then there's going to be the concern that, all right, as a company, we need someone who can give us at least 15 years, 20 years of work. All right, so this is now, what level should you apply for? Apply for director, senior director, vice president, president, anything up from senior director, senior director up. Yes, so that's what you apply for because of the years of experience and I suppose the education. So nothing less than director. I don't have any experience in HRM, how can you structure my resume? All right, so if you don't have experience in HRM, you list the education that you have in HRM. If you've done any HR related thing to assist the HR department in any way, served on a committee, employee engagement committee, you've probably done HR things and you're not aware of it. So I would now ask you, pull it out of you, what have you done in relation to people, your team members, helping your manager with people, anything like that, and you put it on your resume that you, during your tenure here, you assisted your supervisor or your HR department with distributing uniforms to staff or something like that. Romari, you've done HR stuff, but it's just not in the HR department. I'll put that on your resume for you. For a first-year marketing student who doesn't have experience in the industry, where could I find internships? All right, so your school, whether it's UTech, UER, or wherever, your school has connections with organizations, and they do have internships. I just don't know about any for HR right now, but I'm conducting a study for my MPhil PhD paper on apprenticeships and internship programs, and I do have a list of companies that offer internships. And I put them in my paper to say they are the ones who are going to be filling out my survey, but we can probably talk after. Please, everybody, connect with me on LinkedIn so that we can continue the conversation. Please, that's the easiest thing to do. All right, no other questions in the chat now, so let's continue. Questions and answers, we just did that. Cover letter writing. Let me see how we're doing for time. We just have a few minutes. Cover letter writing. I do not read cover letters. No time for that. However, there are some jobs, government jobs in particular, that ask for a cover letter. What do? You write a cover letter. Make sure that it's just 1 page. Please, can't manage a 2, 3, 4, 5 page cover letters. Address the hiring manager by name if you know the name of the person. Match your background with the needs of the job, and the needs of the job are found in the job ad or the job description. Express an interest in the company. You're excited about this opportunity. You want to work with the company. Say something about the company that attracts you or that matches with your values, and you're eager to start contributing. And make sure that there are no errors in your cover letter. Zero. No errors at all. Someone asked if they'll get the slides. You might need to get it because it's a lot of information. This is an example of a cover letter. It's long, but you can delete what doesn't apply. Carry on, go ahead.
Hi again, Mrs. Cawley. So, yeah, I did place my question in the group, but in the interest of time, it seems as if I just want to be heard. So yes, I do have currently experience in business administration and media production. That's what I'm doing now, right? However, the bulk of my experience is really, qualification is really in human resource management, that's my degree, and professional certifications and stuff like that, industrial relations, strategic HRM, and so on. And I am, what should I say? I am seeking employment in human resource management. I want to know, Ms. Cawley, what position can I hunt for the fact that I am transitioning into that field? I do experiences on, a bit of recruitment, contract related, stuff like that. But what is it that I really need to hunt for since I'm transitioning?
All right, so when you go on Caribbean Jobs, on the left side, you'll see a box for the positions. Type in Human Resource Officer. Select Jamaica and look what comes up.
Jamaica? You're saying select what?
Not hearing you so well, but go on CaribbeanJobs.com.
Yes.
In Human Resource Officer, select Maker and look what comes up.
Select Maker. Oh, Lord.
So on CaribbeanJobs.com, in the box that has the position, the space for you to type in the position you're looking for, type Human Resource Officer. You got it, Carrie Ann?
I got it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Welcome, Human Resource Officer. Yes, thank you, Carrie K. Thank you, Carrie K. How do we find you on LinkedIn? Type in my name, Joni-Gaye space Cawley. Type it in, please. Send a connection request. I'll see it as soon as I finish talking and accept. So everybody on the call, please, that's your homework. It's one of your homework. All right. In 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you about it. I'll take 2 minutes and tell you some interview tips. Number one, whenever we call and schedule interviews, please show up to the interviews. Do not ghost us. If you're not interested, just say so, because I've had the experience. I'm on the interview waiting and say, okay, the person is not joining yet. Let me call. I call and I say, yes, Miss Cawley, I'm just having technical difficulties. I'm going to join right now. 5 minutes later, I can't see the person come. I'm calling. Nobody. Disappear into thin air. Please don't do that. Show up for the interviews. Respond to emails in a timely manner. Do not wear crushed up clothes, even if it's a virtual interview. No crushed clothes, please. Right? And your background, try to blur it or go somewhere that has a plain wall. Don't be outside walking around when you're on the interview, even if you're at work and it's your lunchtime. Go somewhere quiet and sit. And if you're using the phone, put it on something, put it on a book, put it on a table, put it somewhere that it doesn't keep going like this when you're on the virtual interview. For face-to-face interviews, show up. Come to the interview. Don't ghost people. All right? We have the STAR method for answering interview questions. I think we'll have to have a part B with this, and handling tough questions, but I want to jump to personal branding quickly. Please go on Google right now, type in your name and see what comes up, because whatever comes up is what the recruiters are going to be seeing when they're Googling your name. You want your personal brand, and I'm doing it right now too. Type in your name in Google and see what comes up. You want your personal brand to be positive. All right, so while you do that, I'm going to tell you why it's important. And do it from time to time, because things will come up under your name and you don't know that they're there. A personal brand is the unique combination of skills and experiences that make you who you are. It is how you present yourself to the world. Effective personal branding will differentiate you from the competition and allow you to build trust with prospective employers. That's why it's important to look what's online about you, and anything that's there that's not positive, clean it up, please. Okay? Make sure that you delete any picture that is questionable. All right, so just my final words for you. Online and offline branding are important. Your online presence, your LinkedIn profile, make sure that you have a professional profile photo on LinkedIn. Make sure your resume is professionally done. You can do it yourself, but make sure it looks professional and crisp, error-free. It's good to have a personal website, because that just adds that extra edge. You have your website with your domain, and I can look at it and see your profile. Your social media accounts should have photos and wording that you want recruiters to see. You can have a personal page that your friends see, and you post all sorts of things on it, and it's in a name that's not your name, like Screening 2.2 or something. But for your professional social media accounts that recruiters will check, make sure that it has what you want people to see. Your offline presence is equally important. Dress professionally, depending on the occasion. But still, if you run into a recruiter, that person shouldn't have second thoughts like, really, is this the person I want to be associated with the company based on how they're attired? Your communication style offline, in public, should be perfect as well. Networking, that what we're doing today, we're connecting on LinkedIn and so on, we're doing our networking, should be good. Business cards, if you use business cards still, and you have digital business cards as well as I'm reaching for a paper business card, it should be clean and professionally done. Next steps after today: Set SMART goals for yourself and your career. Create an action plan, a weekly action plan. This week, I want to apply to 3 companies. Next week, 5 or so. Write down your action plan. Maintain persistence. Don't give up. If you apply 5 times and you don't get through, apply 55 times. Different places, but keep it up. 550 times if you need to apply to different places, but keep at it until you get an offer letter in your hand and you sign or return it. Celebrate your progress, every achievement. You just celebrate, you feel good about yourself. You've sent out 5 resumes, 5 applications today, feel good about it. Your professional journey begins with today's commitment. I'm so happy that all of you are here. 25 of us are on now. Small, consistent actions lead to significant results. Remember, showing up is the first step. Now you have the tools. We gave you the tools today to move forward confidently. All right, so thank you so very, very much. Over to Erica. That's my information. I'm on WhatsApp with that number as well. And that's my website.
All right. Thank you so very much, Joni-Gaye Cawley, for your awesome presentation. I am sure that the participants were all glued to the screen and just had their ears tuned to your voice, because the information that was presented was very critical to career development and growth in our economy at this time. And so I am very proud to say that our presenters are expertise in their individual fields, and you can always reach out to them if you need more guidance and more professional coaching in your career journey. All right, so at this time, do we have any questions, any more questions or comments? If not, I will get right into the questions that I have for you as the participants. So there are 6 prizes, right? There are 6 prizes for you to win. So from Miss Paulette Lewis of Bridge Excellence International, you will get coaching sessions. So there are 3 coaching sessions available. And from Joni-Gaye Cawley, we have 3 books that you will receive. And there is the book, The Influential HR, Earning Respect. Are you seeing that? Earning Respect and Gaining a Seat at the Decision-Making Table. That is an excellent book for you to have. And it's an excellent prize for you to win once you answer the correct questions. All right, once you answer the questions correctly. All right, so let me get into it. So I have 3 questions from Paulette Lewis's presentation and 3 from Joni-Gaye Cawley's presentation. The first question from Miss Lewis's presentation is, what are soft skills? And give 2 examples of critical soft skills for success. What are soft skills? And give 2 examples of soft skills for your success. All right, we have Carrie K. Leon. Go ahead, Carrie K.
Thank you. I'm nervous. Okay. I am using the definition from Miss Lewis, and it's the ability to work with others through increasing your employability. I'm going to try I worded it correctly.
And you are our first winner. So you will be getting the coaching session from Miss Paulette Lewis. So that's our first winner. Congratulations, Carrie K. Leon.
Thank
You
you.
are our first winner, and you have an excellent prize to get that coaching session from Miss Paulette Lewis. Awesome. You see, it's very important that you make bold steps. So the next question is, what percentage of companies emphasize the importance of human capabilities? Let me say that again. What percentage of companies emphasize the importance of human capabilities? And if you're paying attention, you would get this one. Who is our winner?
I would like to try.
Jade Coswell? Is that Jade?
No, that's LN 101, International Knowledge Johnson.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it 100%? I wasn't in the thing, but all companies should take HR seriously.
I'm sorry to say that is not the correct answer. All right, good try. All right, do we have Novlet or is it Carrie-Ann?
This is Carrie-Ann speaking.
Carrie-Ann, go ahead.
Going to take a try. Say 60 to 80%.
No, that is not correct. It was clearly stated on Paulette Lewis's presentation. One more try. Anyone else? Let's see if there's the correct response in the chat. No, it's not 15%. One more try. We need someone to win the prizes. No, not 40%. Not 60% presentation. Thank you, Carrie-Ann, for trying. All right, you are a winner. You are our second winner of the professional coaching with Paulette Lewis of Bridge Excellence International. Our third and final question from Miss Lewis's presentation is, right, drum roll. Where can you go to get opportunities for employment? Where can you go to get opportunities for employment? Give me 2 places. Where can you go to get opportunities for employment?
Recruiters agency, HR agency.
Okay, Novlet says recruitment agencies, HR agencies.
And online resources.
Online resource. I see Dr. Noel Morgan is saying Google. All right, thank you for that, Dr. Morgan. Thank you for that. And we now move on to the questions from Joni-Gaye Cawley's presentation. And the first question from Ms. Cawley's presentation is, what are some of the functions of an HR manager? What are some of the functions of an HR manager?
Can I go?
Sure.
Okay, so my name is Carrie-Ann again. And one, I would say lead the team to implement HR strategies. Also to implement policies within the organization. So 3, to say motivate the team and create strategies for them to prevent certain things like maybe say staff turnover and so on.
All right, I'm going to consult with my HR consultant, Miss Joni-Gaye Cawley. Would you accept that response, Miss Cawley?
And for her participation, yes.
All right. So we have a winner. Thank you so much, Miss Cawley. We have a winner, and that is Carrie-Ann Goldson. So Carrie-Ann, you have won The Influential HR book by Miss Joni-Gaye Cawley. Next question. Put on your thinking caps. And we go to our next question. How do you define a resume? How do you define a resume?
Do you have in that book?
Is this Novlet?
Yes, it is.
Go ahead, Novlet.
A resume is your statement to the recruiter, namely of your professional summary.
Your influential HR. Congratulations. Now, you're most welcome. Our third and final question is, which two platforms can you use to create a resume? Which two platforms can you use to create a resume?
May I go?
Okay, that is Romari Golden. Go ahead, Romari Golden.
We can use Canva and also Microsoft Word by using the templates.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Romari Golden.
Yes.
Miss Cawley said yes, that is correct. Canva and Microsoft Word templates. Those are the two templates or platforms that you can use to create your professional resume. Thank you so much for participating in this segment. Congratulations, you are all winners. You are all winners for showing up on this platform today for our Youth Empowerment Seminar. All right, so at this time, I will be going into my closing remarks. Miss Paulette?
Sorry, Carrie-Ann has got 2 of the 3 coaching sessions. Do we have a question to allow at least one more person to try it for another coaching session? Yeah.
Okay, sure, definitely. All right. So the next question is, what is coaching and where can you get professional coaching in Jamaica? What is coaching and where can you get professional coaching in Jamaica? What is coaching and where can you get professional coaching in Jamaica? Anyone?
I won one already.
All right, so we're good. We're
winning for someone else.
Yes.
Yes, coaching is really professional guidance and advice and support in your journey. In this case, your job search success.
Okay, in your jobs. Okay, and where can we get professional coaching in Jamaica?
Professional coaching are given by professional various fields in career, at career placement centers, and by experts in HR.
All right, so we have coaches online right now. So
yeah, I could tell.
Can you name one of those?
Oh yes, Mrs. Lewis.
All right,
and also Mrs. Cawley in her own right too.
Yes, excellent. Those were the responses I was looking for. All right, thank you so much. So who will get this prize?
Or do you want me to?
Yes, please choose, seeing that you are the person with the correct response. All right. Have you chosen? Novlet? So yes, we have one of the participants?
Yes, I said Alex Allen.
Alex Allen. So Alex Allen, you have won yourself a professional coaching session with Miss Paulette Lewis of Bridge Excellence International. Consider yourself blessed. All right, thanks again, Nuglet Johnson, for your participation and for your kindness. At this time, I will be closing out. So thank you all for being a part of today's Youth Empowerment Seminar, focused on the vital theme of showing up. It is important for us to show up. Whether or not we are feeling that mood or we are feeling as though we can't do it, we need to show up. We need to dress up and show up. Your presence here signifies a commitment to growth, resilience, and making a positive impact in your communities. Remember, showing up isn't just about physical, right, presence. It's about showing up with intention, confidence, and a willingness to overcome challenges. Each of you has the power to be a catalyst for change, starting with showing up for yourselves and those around you. As you leave today, carry with you the inspiration and tools to step boldly into your futures. Believe in yourself, believe in your potential, stay committed, and never underestimate the power of simply showing up. Together, we can build a brighter, more empowered tomorrow. Thanks to Kim Otar of Kim's Virtual Solutions for the professional technical support. And she can be reached online at her website at Kim's Virtual Solutions. Paulette Lewis of Bridge Excellence International. So we have information for Paulette Lewis and her email address. It will be placed in the chat shortly. Paulette@bridgeexcellence.com, and her telephone number is 876-881-5616. That's 876-881-5616. And you can also check the website bridgeexcellence.com. For connection with Joni-Gaye Cawley, you can also connect with her on LinkedIn. And she has her website as well, JoniGayeCawley.com. You can also find out more information based on the link that was shared. So, remember, you have made a bold step today. Thanks to all the participants for showing up, for coming out to this seminar. It shows that you are intentional about your success. Thanks a billion for your participation. I see you. I see that you are making bold steps towards a successful life. Thank you again. Thanks for coming. Keep on shining. And until next time, I'm your host, Erica Heslop.